Good morning, everyone. It's early morning here. It's going to be warm again. It was 60 degrees something yesterday. We had the door open. We did make a fire in the morning, and I'm not sure why, but it was all right. But yeah, it's nice to have it nicer and warmer in here, but why waste the wood if you don't have to? Today I didn't make one. This you might come down and say, well, I want more heat, which then is fine too. But as of right now, yeah, it looks like it's going to be another nice warm day. So no need, right? I always find it interesting when people cool their house in the summertime to 60 degrees, and then in the wintertime they heat it to 80 degrees, right? Kind of thing. And okay, some are kind of in between. And 60 degrees outside, 60 degrees here in the house, or 62, 65 is perfect, right? Right? Yes? Like in the summertime? So, just saying. It's odd, isn't it? Yes? Okay, do we store heat and the cold, the heat, how does our body react? So we need a little bit more balance in either season, summer or winter. Maybe, but I said, I'm gonna go and open the door right now because it's a little cooler outside, but cool air in the house heats up faster, just to let you know. So every morning, it feels fresh and cool. Every morning, you should open the door for a few minutes, 10 minutes or so, right, to let the cool air in. And then the fresh air, right, the cool, fresh air actually will heat up much faster, right? It's more healthy for you, right? Again, right? Yes? Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so there we are. And of course, I'm nice and bundled up for the moment, and I have a hot flash, and then everything comes off. Okay. So I have to share this one. I saw an interesting one, or heard an interesting one. USO. USO. In a show. I said, USO? What's a USO? Unidentified submerged object. Oh, it's the opposite of what? The UFO, right? I never thought of that before until I'm going, oh yeah, that's considered an unidentified flying object. And I thought, well, that could be anything for that matter then, right? Yes? An unidentified flying object could be a rock that you didn't see exactly. Oh, is that a bird or a rock? Well, it's an unidentified flying object, right? Then, of course, the unidentified submerged object. It's an interesting string of words too. Either one that could be anything, right? Cruise. Oh, what was that? Oh, that's an unidentified submerged object in the ocean or in a pond. Or, right? If you can't identify it exactly, it's either or, in the air or right in the water, underground. Oh, underground, submerged. Huh? Oh, you could look at a mountain and go, oh, there's probably a whole bunch of unidentified, oh, UBOs, unidentified buried objects. Okay. All right, what am I trying to say with that? It's interesting on how certain things that come to be, right, suddenly have this mysterious thing going on that, oh, but when you think about it, and when you assimilate the words and what they actually could mean, then you're going, oh, all these fantastic things out there in the world that when you just give it a little extra thought, you're going, oh, well, yeah, of course. And what? And so we all know what UFOs are supposed to be, right? But they don't exist, okay? I don't care what anybody says. I don't believe it. They don't exist. Aliens from outer space don't exist. Not here, anyway. Maybe somewhere else. I don't know. I'm not God. I don't know what else He put out there, okay? But again, When you go and read up on what it took to actually compose the earth, okay, compose, uh, paint, construct, right? Yes. Uh, oh my gosh, you could take every profession and use a word of every profession on what the earth, on how the earth was created, right? Because, of course, by whom? Our creator, right? God, our heavenly father, our heavenly parent. When you go and you start studying up about all this, you realize, or come to realize, or you hear it, and you're going, oh my gosh, yes, somebody studied this, on how incredibly complex everything is when it comes to Earth and the universe, the sun, the moon, and all the other planets and stars around it that make up our solar system. Okay, and then and how Earth actually can sustain in the way it does. Earth is, above anything, the most amazing creation in the whole of the universe. There is nothing more amazing out there. And to have, and when it comes down to it, as much as we've been able to actually discover out there, yeah, and junk it up, humankind is just like, then you know, we can already see a vast majority, not majority, a vast area of the universe. Some people say, yeah, well, at Mars, and they found some water there or something, and so there probably was, billions of. No, there wasn't. Okay, there was not. If you really go and you study up all that, you realize, no, there wasn't. We have this again, idea in our head, that this fantasy that, well, there must have been, so that somehow something can get discredited. And what is that? Right? Yet nobody's been ever 100% successful yet. And I'd say we have advanced in some ways when it comes to our mental capabilities of putting things together, this net, and how people in certain areas are just these geniuses who are woo, I mean, dear, that's amazing, and how smart they are, and how they figure things out. And yet there seems to be always a component, even in theology, where there's always this, how can we discredit, right? How can we discredit God? God couldn't have. I mean, there has to be, yes, it's true. Yet, when you really go and you study up on things, you realize that it's too fantastic. It's too amazing. It's just too everything. Oh, there you go again. It's too of everything. Whatever word you come up with. That's in the positive. Right? Yes? Just saying. So, yet. Yeah. I remember the stories of the fairies that were out there and going, all right. Certain other things, we're going, yeah. And the odd thing with certain things like this, where, oh, there is proof of, okay, fairies or the giants, I mean, the real giants, not just people taller, a couple of 3, 4, 5 feet, which has happened, they're living, there's a really difficult life to live that size. Um, let's see, other things. Okay, all right, there's plenty out there. And you go and you study up on it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, UFOs and aliens. You study up on it. You're going, no hands and feet, none, zero. It's just all someone's idea of something, right? And yeah, then also people who are way smarter than believing stuff like that, yet they advocate it and support it. And oh yeah, and you're working on it. I wonder, what are you actually working on? Can't tell me you're that dumb. Yeah. Okay, all right, all right. Just saying. Yeah. Hey, us just common people, what do? We got work to do here, right? We We construct, right? We paint, right? We, what did I say? We grow, right? An environment around us for our families, for our children, right? Yeah, yes, that's what we do, so that then they can continue to survive. We give them the knowledge they need for that. So, yes, and of course, have that deep love for the Creator, for our Father in heaven, for our Heavenly Father, for our Heavenly Parent, God. Right? Yes, of course, that should always be there. Right? That's you teach that automatically as you when you are at a certain level in your life, I guess. Spiritual growth is not, then when you're able to do that without having to drag them to church or this, which is not a bad thing either. Don't get me wrong. Okay. So, but yes. And that's kind of as commoners, that's what we do. Yes. Yeah. And that seems like a lot of people out there now kind of veering away from taking care of their surroundings, taking care of their families. Yes. I think. Yes. Well, anyway, so got to get back to that. Yeah, saw a video in India on how poor people live in India. Okay, and they showed that there's no commentary going on or anything. They just showed, and it was like, and I was kind of waiting for it again. Okay, poor people, very smart. Okay, they're very smart. They're very conscientious of on how to use anything, this and that, and how they cook or what they cook, how they combine things when they're cooking. Also, otherwise, and how they clean their stuff okay, just grow certain things. So to me, when I see something like that, oh, I missed it. When I see something like that, it's not. Oh, I'm gonna go and see how poor they live. No, I always watch videos like that to see, okay, how do they do things, right? With the little that they have, even when it comes to water, right? Or even seeds, or what kind of crops do they grow that they know then they can, support, a whole village often. Just okay, because everybody works together. So I'm going, oh, okay. So that's how I look at it. But of course, in the way they were saying it, it's like, I was okay. I got it. What you want? What you know? But so I went and looked. I watched the whole video, and actually, what it showed mostly, again, look how poor they have to do everything. So I'm going, that's amazing. They're all working together. They were all working together to plow the fields, then to plow it again. Then they had the way their carts were, and again probably because there wasn't wood enough in a way to have high sides on their carts, right? And so they had low sides, but the way that they packed their manure was like in a pyramid. And you could tell, perfect pyramids, by the way, right? And I thought, okay, if you were to break that down, most of it would fall off the cart. But in the way that they did it, they actually transported a heck of a lot of manure in a small space. In the way that they constructed, right, the manure pile, and as I said, perfect. You could tell it was perfectly. Many hands had into perfect little pyramids, big pyramids. And that's how they transported and over the ruts, this, that, they didn't fall apart. And over the ruts with I think they had cows and uh, oxen to pull the carts. And there were several of them. Just going, all them guys. There was not one woman there. All guys were doing that. That's really nice to see. Oh, wow. Yes. And they, then they got them on the field and they, again, because they're so low, the sides of the carts, it was easy to just get the shovel the manure at. You got a few hands to do that. Things don't take that long. Right? Anyway, so I watched that and gone, man, no, they're rich. These people are rich. These people are rich in heart and mind. They know how to do things without all the power tools, without the tractors, without. Right? That's amazing. And they all work together. Ah, yes. Well, anyway, as I said, one can always look one way or another. You can be influenced or you can be guided by something. Yes, it just depends on how you look at it. Anywho, all right. So here we are in Exodus 11. Announcement of the death of the firstborn. Oh. That's not going to be fun to read. Yeah, it's a short one too. Well, thank God. Yahweh then said to Moses, I shall inflict one more plague on Pharaoh and Egypt, after which he will let you go away. When he lets you go, he will actually drive you out. Now instruct the people that every man is to ask his neighbor and every woman hers for silver and golden jewelry. And Yahweh made the Egyptians impressed with the people. We've already seen this at one point. We've already read this somewhere. Huh? And Yahweh made the Egyptians impressed with the people, while Moses himself was a man of great importance in Egypt, in the opinion of Pharaoh's officials and the people. Oh, that's an interesting one. How come so suddenly? Moses then said, Yahweh says this, At midnight I shall pass through Egypt, and all the firstborn in Egypt will die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh, heir to his throne, to the firstborn of the slave girl at the mill, and all the firstborn of the livestock. And throughout Egypt there will be great wailing, such as never was before, nor will be again. They still had livestock left after all the plagues. I thought that was all wiped out. But there's more. We're missing some info here. But against the Israelites, whether man or beast, never a dog shall bark, so that you may know that Yahweh discriminates between Egypt and Israel. Oh. Then all these officials of yours will come down to me, and bowing low before me say, Go away, you and all the people who follow you. After which I shall go. And hot with anger he left Pharaoh's presence. Yahweh then said to Moses, Pharaoh will not listen to you, so that more of my wonders may be displayed in Egypt. Moses and Aaron worked all these wonders in Pharaoh's presence, but Yahweh made Pharaoh stubborn, and he did not let the Israelites leave his country. Wait a minute. So this was a warning. This was a warning. That it says, all right. This is an odd one. It's a very confusing one, and it's a very conflicting one. And I can see on how conflicted God is over this. And not... Moses seems like has found his voice a bit. He's mad. He's upset. It's an odd one. I don't really have much to say to this one. Maybe because I already said enough beforehand. Again, with the... I said before, it's interesting, these 10 plagues, and that's what they are, when you compare them to the 10 commandments in a way, right? Yes? And on how the consequences of not keeping, not obeying God. Obeying. Does God want us to obey? In what way? In what way does God want us to obey? Because he knows that'll be the best for us, right? Yes. Again, we don't live that long, right? We're not living that long. We're not that long on earth, right? Yet, what did I say? What did I say beforehand? On the incredible work it took, ingenuity it took, precision it took to create Earth and make it habitable for us. And I know that some people want to compare themselves to animals to snap it. Again, if you look out there on what the principles of creation are, which are the animals, the plants, the terrain, the water, the wind, all the 4 earth elements, this, that, and what the principles of love are, which we are completely under, right, or over, right, and on how our minds, our heart minds work, right, of what we are capable of as humankind, as mankind, then no, we're not. We're different. We are definitely different. For what purpose? I have to leave that out there for you all. For what purpose? Yes? Well, anyway. A short one. I don't know much what to say about this one right now. It saddens my heart that the innocent, right, because of, here we go, that the innocent have to pay the price, right? And not just the firstborn dead, but the ones that have a firstborn. Right? What about among the commoner, Egypt, the Egyptians? Right? All their firstborn sons die, or firstborn, just as the firstborn son, did it say male? Die. Right? That must have been really, really sad for them because they have a leader who just doesn't doesn't care. Seems like doesn't care, right? Yeah. He's a pharaoh. I don't know how many wives he had. Does he really care about his firstborn? Probably has a few more, right? But maybe for the rest of the Egyptians, that it wasn't like that. He didn't have all the multiple wives, or I don't know. But usually it's not that way, right? You have to have a certain station in order to, right, have the extras. So again, how sad. God had to pull the innocent into it. Did he? Or did he actually do that? Was it God's? Was that God's point of view? The last resort to, I don't know. All he wanted was for the Pharaoh to let his people go. That's all he wanted. Right? Didn't plan on any of the other stuff. Yet seemed to have no choice. I think that even in today's world, many leaders around the world, it doesn't even matter how high up a leader you are, lower down, fewer people around you. I think a lot of leaders have just forgotten who they actually work for, why they are a leader, what the word leader means. Yes, and a lot of innocent lives paid a price by either dying or the ones left behind wailing. Yes. I'm addressing a specific thing here. Yeah. Yes. Well, I'm sure you guys can figure it out. Do I have to spell everything out? Right? Everyone has a heart to mind. Everybody does. Right? We say, out of the mouths of babes, right? Young children. A lot of wisdom sometimes that comes out of there, and people are, oh wow, that's amazing. Really? You should be way above that, way above. If that's so amazing to you, then you should really consider looking at your own life and going, man, if I'm that, a child says something that then is so profound that is affecting me, then in that way of wow, and you're exalting a child above your own spiritual growth, then you probably should be doing a little of that yourself, right? Yes, I'm just saying. Okay. All right. Well, that's what I wanted to share this morning. Exodus 11. 10 plagues are over. Now we're going to find out what's next. Doesn't say it happened. It says that the Pharaoh was stubborn again, but it didn't say that it already happened. So we'll have to just keep on reading, see what else is going to happen, right? Yes? Okay. Maybe it's still coming. Ugh. Don't like reading stories like that when children get killed. All right, the firstborn in many households could be what? Uh, Already an adult. Oh, livestock. They still have livestock. Yes, maybe this is over a period of time, not one day after another, but over a period of time. People have recovered again a little bit from the last plague. Okay, all right, just saying. I don't know. I should go and check out if those plagues actually happened in Egypt. Well, there you go. Something else to study up on, right? And probably come across a whole bunch of that one says this one, that one says that one. I just don't really know. So, what is the Bible? It's a textbook. It's for us to learn out of. Again, right? You're willing to learn out of the mouth of babes. Well, then how about learning from the Bible as well? Yes? Mm. All right. God's love and blessings always. May He protect you. Now, we'll talk to you another time.